Think you're losing hair? Well, you may be right. Stress, anxiety, and feelings of uncertainty are all contributing to it right now. So with August being National Hair Loss Awareness Month, we're going to do something about it. Dr. Michelle Henry is passionate about this subject matter and is helping us help you this morning. She joins us now with more. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having
Of
me.
course, we want to get into this because we all want to keep our hair, and we know with this pandemic, stress levels are up and stress increases that risk of hair loss. So what are your tips for us this morning?
So, you're absolutely right. With COVID-19, we are seeing high levels of financial, social, health, and work stress. And in turn, we're seeing an uptick in stress-related issues. So things like acne and hair loss. We know that hair loss is also caused by genetics, so something that we can blame our parents for, but stress is playing a huge role. And in my office, I'm seeing my patients adopting some changes in their regimen that's not quite right. So some things I argue against. Patients are coming in and they're brushing their hair more. They're cutting their hair. They're believing that will stimulate hair growth, and that's just not the case. Brushing the hair is friction, and that can actually contribute to damage. And cutting the ends of the hair does nothing for the root or the follicle in the scalp that stimulates hair growth. I'm also seeing patients that are abandoning their hair care regimen because they believe that washing their hair will also contribute to hair loss, and that's not true. Sticking to a consistent regimen with products that actually focus on hair density and hair growth is actually the way to go if you're suffering from some hair loss from either genetic reasons or the stress of COVID.
Well, I'm glad we could debunk some of those myths this morning. And moving on, we know that healthy hair starts from the inside. So that is why it's so important to care for both your physical and mental health, especially right now. So what are some tips that you can share about us with stress management?
Yeah, so stress management is absolutely critical. So our body sees mental stress in the same way that it sees physical stress. And in order to conserve itself, we will shed hair. And so clinically, we call that telogen effluvium. We're seeing a lot of that. So one thing I recommend to reduce stress is get out, work up a sweat. When we get those endorphins pumping, that will reduce our stress level. So that's really critical. Really to really dive deeper and reduce our mental stress, I'm a huge proponent of meditation. So I personally meditate all the time. And I love some of the apps like Calm or Headspace. They really help to guide your practice. Something else to think about is your diet. We know that our diet is directly linked to our skin, our hair, and our nail health. So think about what you're eating. Think about nutritious foods. Think about making sure you're having lean protein. I really love foods like salmon, avocado, and nuts because they contain those healthy fats, those omega-3s that are really important to having full, healthy, shiny hair. Also, foods to avoid. So we're stressed out, we may want to indulge in some of those sugary sweets, and that is not what we want to do. Not only do they compromise our overall health, they also can cause acne and compromise the quality of our hair. So diet is really important to think about.
I hear you about the food. Same for meditation. I recently got into yoga when this pandemic really started. So it really kind of gives you that ease of mind. And thank you for those tips because some of that food looked delicious. All right, so we've learned that self-care and scalp care go hand in hand. So what are the basics of scalp and hair care, scalp care, and hair care, and how can they really help your hair grow and keep healthy?
So I always say that hair care is scalp care. So as a dermatologist, when I think about hair, I think about the scalp because the scalp houses the follicle, and that's literally the root of the hair. And that's what dictates how fast your hair grows, how thick your hair is, the density of your hair. So scalp care is absolutely critical. So when we talk about skincare, we talk about all the things we do for our facial skin. We exfoliate, we use special ingredients, we use special cleansers. And our scalp is literally just an extension of our facial skin. And it really deserves that same attention to detail to keep it healthy. So don't dismiss scalp care. Exfoliation is critical for the scalp. We don't want that buildup of dirt and debris. And examine your scalp. So feel your scalp. Your scalp really shouldn't feel tender. It shouldn't feel itchy. And when you look at it, it shouldn't look red. You shouldn't see a buildup of dirt and debris. Again, those things can cause inflammation and compromise hair growth. What do you do if you see those things? So one solution that I really like is a nioxin purifying exfoliator and the 3-step system. So that really helps to promote healthy hair. So that exfoliator is going to get rid of that dirt, oil, and debris immediately. And then as we start to grow hair, we want to make sure that we are really helping to retain that hair by using good hair care practices. So that 3-part system has a shampoo, a conditioner, and a scalp treatment. So it's going to help to promote that hair growth and keep that scalp healthy all year long to really keep healthy, full hair.
Really quickly, where can we go for more information on really scalp and hair care, just really to take all this advice in this morning?
Yes, so if you are noticing hair loss, my first recommendation is to see your dermatologist. So we want to make sure that your hair loss isn't due to some underlying health concern. Second, if you want to go online and find more information, the American Hair Loss Association is a really great resource. You can learn about different hair types. It can help direct you to the right provider for your hair loss. And also, if you want to learn more about scalp care, nioxin.com has a really great scalp hair kit. It's going to help you learn about what is a healthy scalp, how to evaluate your scalp, and give you some tips and tricks and tools that you can use to promote scalp health and in turn healthy hair.
All right, Dr. Henry, we appreciate you taking the time out this morning and getting our confidence back and getting those hair growing again. So we appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Don't be discouraged about hair loss. Do something about it and get your confidence back up. For more on what was brought this morning, the websites are right there on your screen for more information. This segment sponsored by Nioxin.